And we're back with another episode of Today and Tomorrow in Scottsdale with Don and Kevin. And Kevin, it's good to see we've had a couple weeks off.
Don, how are you? How was your holiday?
It was good, man, because I spent it with you.
That's right.
You know, how could it be any better than that?
We ate some turkey.
We had some good stuff. You know, that restaurant, Italiano, up in North Scottsdale. Well, actually, not North Scottsdale, Central Scottsdale.
Yeah, right.
Shay is fantastic.
North U. Yeah, it was great. We loved it there.
It was packed, and it was amazing. But, it was a wonderful Thanksgiving, and now we're back in the saddle, at least for a couple of more before we break for the holidays a little bit. But we're going to have some fun today.
Yeah.
Because today we're joined by Betty Webb of Scottsdale. Welcome, Betty. Good to have you here today.
It's nice to be here on a beautiful day.
Absolutely. Another beautiful Arizona day, man. That's for sure.
Yep.
So Betty is the author of the Lena Jones mystery series, novels that take readers deep into the stark and beautiful world around Scottsdale. Before becoming a mystery writer, and this is when I remember her because we have similar backgrounds, she was a journalist with the Mesa Tribune for many years.
Right.
And that eye for stories in her reporting life gives her fiction a lot of authenticity, which is really cool. So we're talking about desert landscapes, we're talking about unforgettable characters, and we're talking about the path from reporting the truth to crafting it in mystery form.
Yeah.
So this should be a fascinating conversation with you today, Betty. But before we get into all your novels and so forth, talk a little bit about your background, where you grew up, and how you ended up in Arizona.
Okay. Well, it's very unlikely because I grew up on a cotton farm in the boot heel of Missouri.
Really?
And in the spring, I would chop cotton, and in the summer, toward the fall, I would pick cotton. In fact, my first bicycle I was able to buy from the money I made picking cotton. So I thought, and we had a dirt road that went in front. We had indoor and outdoor plumbing. You should know what that means. And it was an idyllic childhood, but I had this urge to read. And we had a little truck that would run around the back roads of this tiny farm community and give us books. And so I started reading a lot, and then the more I read, I thought, I bet I could write something like this. I wrote my first book when I was 14 years old, and it was called Desert Maine, and it was set in the desert, which is very odd because I was living there on the farm at the time.
Right.
And but then I decided I was going to be an artist. And I went to art school instead of college. And you can tell that by talking to me for a little while. You'll say, my God, this woman has real gaps in her knowledge. And it's because I went to art school. Ask me about an artist, and hey, I sound brilliant.
Right.
Ask me about something socioeconomic, and I go, huh?
Well, you're not alone there. That's okay.
So anyway, I was an artist for a while. I worked in advertising down on Madison Avenue, BBD&O, the biggie. And then somehow I wound, I remember now how I did. I used to I used to go to opera, ballet, you name it. If it was artistic, I went.
Right.
And somebody from my church, yes, I used to go to church. I did. I was a good girl. I used to be a good girl. I'm not anymore. I'm sorry. Forgive me.
That's okay.
But I went. I went to this church, and it turned out, you probably even know who I'm going to mention, the guy that was the theater director no, he wasn't the theater. He was the theater critic. And his name was Max McQueen.
I remember
and
Max
he
McQueen.
said, wait a minute, you go to the theater a lot, don't you? And I said, yes, I do. And he said, well, I have to take a vacation because I'm all strung out. How would you like to review a couple of plays for me? And I said, fine. At that point, I'd never really written professionally. And so I started covering plays when he couldn't make it. Next thing you know, I got a call from the Tribune saying, we just lost our music critic. How much do you know about music? And I said, well, let's see, there's Vivaldi, there's Mozart, there's Beethoven. They said, well, it's going to be mainly pop and rock. And I said, love Green Day.
Yeah.
There you go.
So I wound up writing for the Tribune for, gosh, I guess it was 15 years, something like
I
that.
remember your byline
And
for sure.
then at the end, I got so sick and tired of having to tell the truth all the time. You know, I thought, darn, I know where I want to work. I want to
Yeah.
work for those cheap rags in New York. Like what are some of them?
Like
The
the Daily
Sun.
News,
There's the Sun. The
New York Sun,
the National.
New York Post.
Right.
Mirror.
I thought that's what I could do, and I can make up stories about the Bat Boy. But then I thought, well, wait a minute. I'll probably let's give it a book a try. So I wrote a book. My first novel here was about an art show I actually had to cover as the art critic. And the woman who was running the art show said that all of the paintings were made by American Indians. Let's put it that way. That's how she put it. And so I just took one look around and I said, no Native American would ever have created paintings like this. You've got American Indian women naked. They don't do that. And so we got in a fight.
Uh-oh.
Now, my husband was with me. And so when I left the art gallery, I said to my husband, I said, somebody needs to kill that gallery. And I said, oh, maybe that's what I could do. I could write a book where some gallery owner gets killed because she's kind of fibbing about, and I did. That was my first book, and it was called Desert Noir, and it was kind of a fun look at Scottsdale's art scene, which is excellent. I'm not saying bad news, but every now and then you get a rotten apple in there trying to spoil the bunch.
Wow.
And that was a rotten apple. So they wound up, the paper said, okay, well, you can do music, you can do art, you can do dance, you can do comedy. So I did. But then, like I say, I got tired of telling the truth and I wanted to make it up. And I had my first book out already while I was still at the Tribune.
That's great.
And then that was it. I wrote 10 Scottsdale-based mysteries. They're called the Lena Jones mysteries. And then when I retired from the Tribune, I got bored. So I started volunteering all the place.
Oh, where do you volunteer at?
Yeah, and I wound up volunteering for the Phoenix Zoo.
Oh.
And I got a whole series of books from the Phoenix Zoo.
You mean you wrote a bunch of
And,
books about
yeah,
the Phoenix Zoo? Or?
These also are mysteries, and about animals most people don't know anything about. And what I have done now, I've written 20 mystery novels, and ordinarily there's about 3 people who die. I murder in each book. So let's see.
You unalive them?
Let's see, 3 times. Remember, I don't have a college degree, so 3 times 20 would be what?
That'll be 60.
60. Okay, so I've killed 60 people.
boy.
That makes me.
You got away with it.
Makes me a serial killer.
There you go.
But I kind of had a religious experience, and I thought, maybe I should write something sweet and nice. So now I'm writing about an alien takeover of the world.
Really? That's
Yeah.
quite a departure.
Different
and
kind
the-
of subject matter, isn't it? Yeah.
And
uh-huh.
the aliens are very successful because they look like cats. And so the first thing they
And
do
how's that
is
make them
they
successful?
move into these homes that are lived in by cat ladies or wannabe cat ladies.
Now, is that book out now, or is it coming out?
Well, I'm still writing it.
Okay.
I think I'm on a page 205. First draft. I generally go 5 drafts.
Let's back up a little bit and talk about
Yeah.
because you had that Lena Jones series.
Yes,
And
yes.
you just finished your last book in that series.
That's right.
So was it an emotional end to have to finish that
I
book?
cried. I
Did you?
cried. Yeah.
Yeah?
And I don't know. I still may go back
Do another one?
and do like a prequel to Lena Jones.
There you go.
Did Lena die in your last book? So is her character gone?
Oh no, Lena!
Okay.
I would never kill my girl. I would never kill. I kill everybody else in my books, but
Not Lena.
never
though.
her.
So Lena could come back.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's how it all happened. Oh, and then just kind of a two-off. I love Paris. And one thing I learned is that if you travel for your business, you can write that off.
That's what they
So
say.
I thought, I think I'm going back to Paris. So I went to
you go.
Paris, wrote 2 more books, set in Paris.
That's great.
Wrote it off, and I love my job.
Let's go back to Scottsdale for
Yeah,
a second, because
yeah.
what I like about the books that you wrote, you really try to capture the whole landscape of the area,
Yes,
the
yes.
feeling of the desert,
Yeah.
the beautiful nature that the desert
Right,
has to offer.
right.
How did that figure into the creation of
Well,
your series?
see, to me, and this goes back to me being a farm girl. The farm, if you grow up on a farm, the weather is everything, because you either go broke or you get rich, depending on the weather.
Mother Nature.
And
right.
so I was very, very sensitive to weather and to the outdoors. And when I came out here, I thought, I have landed in hell. It's 120 degrees, and I've lost my mind. But that was my first and second year here. Then I got used to it,
Yeah.
and I thought, but this area is so unusual. It's in flora and fauna and the weather. And so in a way, I kind of went back to my childhood and started walking around just feeling and seeing and smelling the different scents. I mean, we've got the reservation right over there. You can see it. I'm sitting right here at the mic looking at the reservation.
Right.
And where else can you do that? So this was so important to me. I put it in every book. Every book.
That's fantastic. And that whole
Yeah.
10 series.
10.
Yeah,
Yep, 10 books.
Really, that's what makes it uniquely Scottsdale, right?
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
That's really cool.
And plus, some famous Scottsdale people are in there.
Oh, yeah,
Like who?
yeah.
Here's my rule. If I'm going to say something nasty about somebody in my book, I change their name.
Okay.
If I'm going to say something very nice about them, then I'll use their name.
So what are some of the nice names you've used?
Couple of mayors, couple of
Drinkwater get in your book? Mayor Drinkwater?
yeah, he
Okay,
he
that
was
makes
in
sense, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
and he was a nice man.
Yes,
he
he
was a
was,
nice man.
right.
Was well known for stopping and helping somebody change their tire.
Oh,
Now
right.
that's a mayor, by gosh, that's a politician.
Yeah.
That's an old-time valuable mayor.
Yep,
But
yep.
those kind of values, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then also what I did, I mentioned Scottsdale restaurants. If I liked them, I gave the real names. If I didn't like them, I changed their names.
What was your favorite restaurant in Scottsdale during that series?
Oh,
Pink Pony, some of the old main street.
Yeah. Where'd your
my
protagonist? Where'd your protagonist eat at?
my protagonist eats at very different places, and there's a Thai restaurant back on Main Street, I believe it is.
Maley's.
May's.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Maley's.
Mally's my yeah. And that's where she normally would eat with her partner, who is a Pima Indian.
Oh.
And I came up with that idea because I know that detectives should have partners because there's too much work for one person, and somebody needs to be able to do the grunt work. So I was trying to figure out what kind of partner I could give her. So I'm down working on my first book. Don't have it done yet, and I'm down at Safeway. It was just before Christmas, and behind me is a father and his son arguing about the kind of computer the son's going to get for his Christmas present. And I'm thinking, oh, that is so sweet. That is really sweet. And then I turn around, and it was 2 Pima Indians, a father and his son. And I said, that's it. My sidekick is going to be a Pima Indian, Jimmy Sisawan. And so I spent a little time over there in the reservation. And while I was over there, by the way, I did write a few stories about their culture for the newspaper because everybody tends to ignore the Pimas. I don't know why. They have a fascinating culture.
They do.
Yeah.
For sure. Let's talk about your writing for a little bit, because I'm curious, writing for, as a journalist, facts only, versus having more creative writing opportunities. How do you approach writing about the desert so vividly that readers feel the heat and the isolation and the beauty all at once?
Because I'm a country girl.
Okay.
We know the country, we know the earth, like somebody who's raised in a suburb is never going to know the earth. I worship the earth. It's our mother. It's our mother. And I think that's why I always got along with the Pima Indians really well, because we have the same feeling about the earth. It is our mother, and you harm her at your own expense. So when you care that much for someone or something, it's easy to write about because you put your mind with them, and then they speak back to you.
Mm-hmm. That's good. And you turn that into words.
That is right.
There you go.
Yeah.
Has living in the environment you write about ever surprised you with a moment that made its way into your plot?
All the time. I'm one of the writers who never outlines. I just make it up as I go along. So the writing experience for me is a constant surprise, constant. And sometimes it changes, a book changes so much on me by the time I hit page 200. I have to go back and rewrite the beginning of the book so that it ties in with it. But that first book, Desert Noir, which is about the art galleries, I had fun with that because, number one, I was very angry with the woman saying that this was Native American art.
Mm-hmm.
I know better.
You knew better,
And
right.
so I had a great time killing her messily, let's put that way. The blood spattered on all of the paintings in the gallery.
Oh, that's good.
It was wonderful.
Yeah.
And that was a surprise. I hadn't planned to do that.
Wow.
Hadn't planned. But then
Spur of the
once I was typing and I saw her mean face, her mean lying
You got
face.
mad, didn't you?
know. Yeah, I got mad. And I
Yeah.
thought, okay, I am not going to kill you easy. You're going to fight for
You're
your
going
life.
down.
And it's going to be bad. So
Wow.
Well, when you have that kind of creativity spark, I mean, you go with whatever you're feeling at the moment, probably.
that's right.
Yeah.
Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't.
Mm-hmm. Have you written things? So if you get through the book, have you ever had a situation occur where you're kind of pretty far into the book and you realize, I'm not sure I'm going to take this to the end. I'm not sure where I'm going with this. You have to start over. How does that work?
Desert Wives.
Desert
This
Wives?
is about polygamy.
Okay.
I went up as a reporter. I went up to the polygamy compounds.
Up in northern
And
Arizona
it is
by Utah.
Colorado
it's
City or
pretty
something?
ugly,
Yeah.
pretty ugly. And I wound up writing about it because it made me so angry. It just made me so angry.
Wow, how long
I
was-
fumed all the way through it. And I will take a little bit of pride in the fact that the New York Times reviewed the book. They loved the book. And everybody else started looking at the book. And at that point, some politician read the book. That I actually sold him the book at a group. And that started getting rid of what's his, I keep forgetting. I always block on his name because I hate him so much.
So it's interesting, though. So
Warren
you-
Jeffs.
Yeah, that's a name that everybody knows.
was gonna say,
Of course,
That's right.
yeah.
Yeah.
He had not been written about until I wrote about him.
Oh, wow.
I changed his name because I didn't want to get sued. But in the back of all the Lena Jones books, I have how this book came to be.
Yeah.
And here are the bare facts about what happened.
Okay. But you began that book by going up as a reporter reporting for
Yes.
the newspaper.
Yes.
Then you saw what you saw and said, I'm going to do a book after this.
Yeah. It was ugly. It was ugly.
So all these years you were writing journalism for the Mesa Tribune. You also had that little creative spark about writing novels in the back of your head. Suddenly all those worlds came together.
I didn't know I
No?
was.
Yeah.
Life is an adventure, and it's a hike through unknown canyons.
It sounds like a writer, doesn't
It
it?
does, yeah, it does. Well, let me ask you, because you guys are both writers, right? Which do you think is harder, Don? Creative writing or like journalistic writing?
I think creative writing is harder because I haven't done it very much.
I was just say, well, okay.
You know, most of all my writing has been, columns and news stories and
Yeah.
reporting.
Yeah.
What about
But
you, Betty? You've done
yeah.
both.
I think creative writing is harder too.
Do you?
Because when you're a journalist, it's the facts,
It lays it out
the
for you in
facts.
front of you. I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
And but plus you don't do deep background when you're doing news because
yeah.
you've got a column inch. How many inches do you want, editor? And they'll say 12, but
Right.
it needs 40.
And I
12.
need it in 10 minutes.
Yeah, 12 inches in 10 minutes, yeah.
Right.
But with a novel, you can go as far as you want to go,
Yeah.
as long as your publisher doesn't have a heart attack.
How do you use strings? And you've done 10 Lena Jones stories. How do they sort of string along? Does one lead to the other?
Yes, Lena Jones was found at the age of 4, lying on Thomas Boulevard or Avenue, I forget which it is,
Yeah.
with a bullet in her head. 4-year-old child.
Wow, okay.
She can't remember a thing.
Okay.
She goes through the different foster parents, has a terrible childhood. She's raped in one of the homes.
So she's shot in the
And-
head when she's 4, and she
You got raped?
That is correct.
yeah, and,
That's
then,
a rough
and
start.
lives and then lives. Okay.
That's a rough
She lives.
start.
Oh yes, people get shot in the head and live. It depends on where
Yeah,
you're shot.
Right.
She got it right up here, just past the frontal. So she was. I'm not going to say she was fine because she has tendencies to have rages, which you will find with people who have had brain injuries. But anyway, she doesn't know who her mother is. She doesn't know who her father is. The entire 10-book arc is about Lena Jones trying to find her family.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Does she find it in book 10?
Yes.
She does.
Yes, I'm getting. We better not talk about this anymore because I'm getting teary.
Oh no.
She's real to me.
Of
At this
course.
point, she's real to me.
Right.
And to a certain extent, I based her on a childhood friend of mine who was being raised in a foster home.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, one of the things that I think made me so proud about that book, Desert Noir, and all of them, is that I had, and I won't tell you who this is, but one of the professors at ASU wrote me a letter saying, "You were a foster child, weren't you? That's the only way you could write. It's so true." And we went out for lunch. And no, I was not a foster child. I was,
Right.
yeah, I was a cotton picker.
From the Show Me State.
Yeah.
The
right.
Show Me State,
that's
yeah,
exactly
yeah.
right.
And I still love it back there, but the family farm's gone.
Is it?
Yeah, agribusiness came through, knocked down all the trees, the barn, the house. It's sad.
When you're writing about all the stuff you have with the Lena Jones saga, how much research do you have to do?
Oh boy, tons.
Yeah.
Oh, tons, oh tons. Let's see. If you look at the back here of Desert Wives, let's see. Yeah, author's note. That's where I start talking about the real thing.
Okay.
The real thing.
Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah. So, but I would imagine with the level of detail you need to do in novels,
Yeah.
that every time you come to a certain instance, you have to research so you
That's
you
right.
look like you
That's
know what
right.
you're talking about, right?
Yeah. And also you have to take care that you don't get sued. Because I was writing about real people committing real crimes before they got convicted. And that's dangerous territory.
Yeah.
And so therefore I changed Warren Jeff's appearance. Because he's a tall, lanky, weird guy. I mean, we've got major problems.
What was the name of the
Psychological.
book?
Pardon?
You changed the name of the book too, though?
I changed, he's in the book, but I changed him in his appearance and behavior in such a way that that he could never bring a case against me in court.
I see.
There's no way.
We were talking earlier about some of the famous murders that have happened here. Winnie Ruth Judd and
Yeah.
Bob Crane
Crane.
and stuff like that. That also figured into your thinking about
yeah.
all this, right?
Well, one of the things that I've always loved about the Scottsdale area is that if you're going to commit a murder, you do it with style, with panache.
We're high class with everything we do,
That's right, we are. We are.
whatever it might be.
Yeah.
Good, bad, or indifferent. That's funny.
Maybe use like more advanced techniques or more classy weapons
we
or what?
we dress better when we're murdering people.
What's that?
Don't we dress better when
Yeah.
we're murdering people? You remember the French lady that murdered her husband and cut him up into little pieces.
Yeah.
She was beautifully dressed. She had designer shoes. She drove, I think it was a Jaguar, and she was very tasteful, I thought.
There you go.
That's funny. Well, in Scottsdale, we do it right. That's all there is to it. That's all there is to it, you know? So if you could sit down now with your younger journalist self, what would you tell her? This is you talking to you.
Yeah,
I'd
say,
ago.
I would say, don't quit the newspaper so early. You're still having fun. And so what if you can only sleep 2 to 3 hours a night to write your books too? Just don't quit. Stay at the paper because they're not going to last long.
Well, unfortunately, we're in that mode now, aren't we? You know,
I know.
When you look at newspapers now, you're probably like me. I have a little tear comes out every time I pick up a paper that's about as heavy as an envelope. You know, and it's like, oh my gosh,
You journalist.
I know.
Yeah, it's a different day for sure.
Yeah, and it seems like so many news reporters have gone into public relations, and I bet it's killing them. I bet because
gotta make a living.
Yeah, you've got to make a living. You got to pay the rent regardless.
Well, we've seen look what's happened to the Tribune over the years, and the Phoenix Gazette.
Yeah.
You know, which unfortunately I was there. It's managing editor when we folded that into the Republic, and I can still remember specifics about that whole thing.
At least the Republic is still up and running.
Kinda.
Kind of. Yeah.
They're limping along right now, and I hope they figure it out. You know, actually, when you think about journalism, whether we have newspapers or not, what I worry about is losing journalism and whatever platform you present it.
Oh, I know.
Whether it's print or not.
I know.
That scares me a little bit these days.
I know. It's just, I can't even watch the news anymore.
It's tough, huh?
And yeah, it's because they call people journalists who there ain't no way. There just ain't no way.
Most of them are just news readers.
I know that.
We have a former politician who is qualified.
Yeah.
We won't name any names, but
and you can almost see the employee list of how you must behave. Make sure your hair is done. Make sure your lipstick doesn't run. Don't go really too hard on the black eyeliner. You don't want to look cheap. You know. It's a sad business.
It's a different world. This has been a really fascinating conversation.
Absolutely.
You know, and strikes to my heart talking about how you
guys
transition journalism into mystery writing and just novels.
Yeah,
that's a really cool transition.
It is. But you know, the arts are the arts. They blend into one another, and so you could write a novel if you wanted to. You could.
I believe that.
You
I
would
just need to sit
you
down.
could
and
do that.
Don could.
Yeah.
Kevin could read
He's
it.
a wonderful writer.
Yeah.
No, that would be fantastic. Kevin, any kind of final thoughts for Betty?
No,
here
thank you
today?
so much, Betty, for woving Scottsdale traditions and our historical narrative into your books and your Lorena series. It was so cool to do that.
And shining the light on your tasteful murders.
That's right.
I love it.
Yeah.
Where can people find your books? Amazon?
Just about
or
it. Yeah,
just everywhere?
Amazon is the quickest way to do it, and I should not have said that. Bookstores.
Bookstores.
Yeah.
Bookstores.
Right, of course.
And if they don't have a copy in, if they've sold out, they will order it for you.
There you
Support
go.
Our
your bookstores.
bookstores need our support.
I totally agree with that.
Yeah.
We have some wonderful bookstores here too that are still
Yes,
still
we
making
do.
it work.
Poison Pen Press, one of the best, finest independent bookstores around.
In the whole country,
and
probably.
Changing Hands down in Tempe. Yep.
So our recommendation to all of our listeners is the author's Betty Webb. Go to a bookstore and look up some of her books and just get a flavor of what Scottsdale looks like from somebody who knows Scottsdale very well,
Yeah.
which is fantastic. Betty, what a pleasure it's been.
Oh, it's
I'm going to go. I have not read any of your books, but I now am going to.
okay, great.
And so I appreciate that as well. But it's just great having you on board today and talking about Scottsdale and your wonderful career here.
Yeah, it was as much fun as I hoped it would be.
That's great. And thanks to all of you for listening. If you enjoyed this episode, share it with your friends. Tell them about Betty. Go buy her books. Come on, let's get with it, Scottsdale. Let's make it do it. Let's make it happen. And we'll see you again soon for another episode of Today and Tomorrow in Scottsdale.
There you go.
Okay.